Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series based on the title Freedom from Pains and Miseries to Happy, Healthy and Peaceful Life. And it is based on 108 mantras to awaken your soul. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita, my questions and God's answers. And today the series number 68. The best path to ultimate peace, which we all want. So please listen to it very carefully with lot of concentration. So end of the session, we all feel that we are in peace, but not just in peace, eternal peace, ultimate peace. And that peace is our peace, who is basically Satchit Ananda. So let's experience that Satchit Ananda, the ultimate peace during this session and end of the session, and carry on with that one. So pranam to Guruji Hariharji Maharaj. With his blessings, we are all here together. And whatever you see on this page, this is all his blessing. I am Satya Kalra, the founder of Path to Anandam and your host. And based on all these books, with Guruji's blessings, his guidance, his teachings, this message has been broadcast, has been given in person for more than 25, I would say more than 35 years now. And the whole purpose here is to experience blissful living. And that's why the name of the foundation is Path to Anandam. And being a scientist myself, all these teachings are based on science and spirituality. And today's session is based on chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, verse 9 to 12. And what are those paths which take us to ultimate freedom, another name of peace? And how to follow that best path, which Lord Krishna is suggesting or suggested throughout Bhagavad Gita, but here he gave the gist of the Gita, that what is the simplest and easiest way to attain eternal happiness. And how can we practice? So we continue to enjoy that with simple tips of homework. And of course, our sanskara, I renunciate, meditation and question and answers. So let's all pray to Lord Krishna. Just like Arjuna, because we are the Arjunas of today who get confused, who get depressed, worried, fear, and want to get out of it, looking for some guidance. So let's pray, seek Lord Krishna's guidance very humbly and surrender to him. Karpanye dosho pahat svabhava paschyami tvam dharma samud chetaha yachyasyani nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanyam shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure and my mind is confused about my duty, my dharma, what should I do, what should I not do? Therefore, I'm requesting you to please tell me what is the best for me. Not what I'm asking, what is the best for me. So, as I am your disciple, I surrender to you. Please instruct me. And with that prayer, Lord Krishna blessed Arjuna with all kind of tips, advice. And Arjuna understood. And he said, okay, I will do as you advise now. Karishye vachanam tav. So let's all go through this blissful journey all together, just like Lord Krishna has taken Arjuna to that blissful journey. So let's all embark on that journey, purify, remove all of our doubts, transform ourselves, uplift ourselves, and reach to that pure conscious level where I am no different than supreme power. I merge with Lord Krishna and experience Satchit Ananda. So now Arjuna has become the disciple, and Lord Krishna is guiding him, advising him, and he's taking him through whole 574 verses. Though the Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses, shlokas, divided into main 18 chapters, though every chapter is called yoga. Through each chapter, enriched with the guidance. But again, it has been divided into three main yogas: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So through Karma Yoga, which is, we are the people who are more action-oriented. Then he takes them that with the Karma Yoga, you cannot do the Karma Yoga with love and compassion. So he teaches him how to go through the Bhakti Yoga, combine the action with love and compassion, and then do it with the wisdom where you understand the real tattva, the true wisdom that you and I are one. So let's all experience that beautiful teachings, and let the teachings of Bhagavad Gita remove each layer of ignorance like onions and takes us to the essence of the sweetest part of the onion, sweetest part of our true nature, Anandamaya Kosha. So we are on the chapter 12 now. First chapter 1 to 6 were Karma Yoga, how to perform our action, where each action is for sarva bhut hiterata, for benefit of all, not my selfish action. And then truly know who God is, who Lord Krishna is, Bhagwan Krishna is, and how to experience him. Only knowing is not enough. How to experience him, feel him. And now the path of love and devotion. So union with God, yoga with God, through self-realization, God realization, with bhakti like Meera, and then self-realization like Shankaracharya, who we are, Vivekananda ji, through the path of love and devotion. So path of love and devotion, which is the, Guruji always said it, this is the heart of Gita, which not only teaches us how to build the relationship with God, but how to build the relationship with his creation, his people, through service. So here, the ingredients of bhakti yoga is selfless work, love and devotion. And now we will have the third element here, which we will talk about it in the next session. But basically, here our head, our hands, and our heart, all the three H's are combined. So Lord Krishna says, there are 4 paths to eternal happiness, peace, anandam. Where we have covered few are these verses before, but I will summarize it. So it says, Mayeva man adasva, may buddhim niveshya, nivsyasti mamev at urdhyam na sanshya. Fix your mind on me alone and let your intellect dwell in me. Your buddhi will be automatically connected because mind is filled with my thoughts. Then the buddhi, which you have the storage of old sanskaras in your mind and buddhi, it will be filled with my thoughts, with me, with my divinity. Then you will surely live in me alone. There is no doubt about this. So here is he saying, I promise you, na sanchaya, there is no sanchaya. At the same time, you have to put some efforts. And the simple effort is live in his consciousness 100%. Practice, 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 practice. And he again says that at chittam samadhatum na shaknosi maistiram abhyas yogen tato mame ichhatum dhananjaya. Hey Arjun, hey Dhananjaya, now you have to start practicing it. Now practice is 2 types. Sometimes we relate where we say God realization, we experience God presence, saguna form with like Krishna's murti, whatever the form we are resonating with, that particular saguna form. So here is the saguna form where we are sitting and doing our rituals. So he says, start with the rituals because that is the beginning. And gradually, little by little, you will start experiencing me. But at the same time says, whatever you do, work as your puja. He says, if you cannot practice just doing the puja, subah sham puja nahi kar sakte, then he says, don't worry about it. Abhyase asamarthosi mat kar parmo bhava. Do action for me. Madartham api karmani kurvam siddhi vyapsasi. Do everything for me. Neki kar kuwe mein dal. Whatever you do, just do it for my sake. Sarva bhuti terata. Contribute to my prakriti, my nature, my creation. And then, even if you cannot do that, then he says, surrender to me. Surrender to my will. Whatever you do, just let go. Like he said, Athai dapti shaktosi kartyu maddo gramashita. Sarv karm phalas tyaga tatha kuru yatatman. However, if you are unable to even work for me, then just take refuges in me, surrender to me. Whatever action you do it everything offer to me. Just let go. So you can do the puja part, all this. But here, even you cannot do anything. Just do yourself. Just do whatever you can do. But do it on the sake of my name, not for your own personal reasons. So, choose the path you like. See, Lord Krishna is so merciful. He gives us a full freedom. We human beings have a full freedom to use our mind and buddhi, choose any path we like. We can do the bhakti of saguna, form with the form, or we just do the meditation. Whatever we do, he has given us the total free will. So just out of these 4 paths, you choose any one of them. And then he further explains that yes, you can choose any path, but he's giving us some indication, some hint that what is the best path you can use. And again, he says, Shreyo hi jnana abhyasa, jnana dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phala tyaga, tyaga shanti anantaram. Pay attention to his tyaga shanti anantaram. So he is saying the knowledge is better than only ritualistic practices. Good example, when we were growing up, or even still many parents don't know that we ask our parents, why should I do this? Why should I do this puja? Why should I do aarti? Why should I do it? And they just said, acha hota hai. Any rituals, acha hota hai. It's good for you and do it. And we blindly did it in those days. But nowadays, kids don't do it. They are smart. That's why Lord Krishna says, you should know what you are doing. Not just reading scriptures, practice it. But then he says, knowledge is better than only ritualistic practices. And then he says, Dhyato Vishan, here that Shri Gyan, Gyan se Dhyan. Now Dhyan is better, the meditation is better. But now even the meditation has become a contemplation. There are so many different types of meditations, and contemplation is now got confused with meditation. Meditation means you meditate only on God, nothing else. But nowadays, one can meditate on many, many different things. And whatever meditate, for example, terrorists meditate on how to kill people. So they become the best killers. So whatever the mind is contemplating upon, mind becomes expert on that one. But here Lord Krishna explains, wants us not here the contemplation, but meditation. Meditation means, again, I repeat, concentrating on God, on divinity. So meditation. But he says, even if you cannot meditate, you cannot understand what is the actual knowledge is. You cannot do the ritual practices. Even though he says from the ritual practices, knowledge is better. Don't do the ritual practices without knowledge. But with the knowledge, you should have a divinity in mind. And from divinity, finally, he says, even you cannot do this, though all these are superior from each other. But then ultimately he says, karma phalas tyaga, tyaga shanti anantaram. Whatever you do it for my sake. The best path to ultimate peace is tyaga, renunciation. But then there are different types of tyagas. We all experience that. Sometimes we have certain habits and we really want to get out of it. We want to do the tyaga of that habit. And one of the habit is many people, including myself, want to have a firm habit of getting in Brahma Muhurt in the 4 o'clock in the morning and do meditation. And sometimes I do, sometimes I slip. Whatever reason could be, whether physical power, limitations, whatever, but it's not that firm habit. So I want to do the tyaga of that laziness. I call that laziness. So I want to do tyaga. And I'm sure you have some habits also. We want to do tyaga of some possessions. Possessions does not mean the money, home, house, cars, jobs. There are many different type of possessions which come in that form of attachments with children's future, even though they are obvious, they are grown up or they are in colleges, but still we worry about them. And with that worry and fear, sometimes our behavior comes like that. We start guiding them and all that and annoying them, and many other behaviors we have. So tyaga, so we need to tyaga of habits, our attachments, our adat buri sudhar lo ho gaya bhajan. So we have to fix, transform our habits. And then of course, 5+2 enemies. अपना ध्यान कहाँ लगाना है? काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार ध्याय तो विषयान पुंसा संगस्तेषु उपजायते संगा संजायते कामा कामा क्रोधो विजायते. We have to let our habits, our desires go, because they give the birth. If they are not fulfilled, we get angry. If they are fulfilled, we become greedy. So our desires, we have to do the tyaga of these worldly, unduly desires, non-ending desires. And then violence, sometimes, though we might not say anything to somebody, we might have learned by now to be in silent. But when we are upset, angry, we are inside, have a thoughts which are no different than violence. कई बारी लगता है उसको जाके थप्पड़ मार दो, but we don't do it. That's one form of violence. Just that thought itself gives the birth to one karma, which we have to pay the price later on. Or sometimes if we do the violence, किसी को थप्पड़ लगा दे, if we go and spank somebody, we might get the spanking back. थप्पड़ वापस मिलेगा. So that's the immediate result. So we have to do tyaga. And then of course, result of action, or whatever we do action for someone, we expect some favors from them. So tyaga of those favors. And also the prayers. We pray, pray, pray. But what kind of prayers? We should do the tyaga of the selfish prayers, where we just ask for our own selfish desires. We should pray for others' health. We should pray for others' well-being, for the nature, not just for our own. And then here comes the opposite of divine qualities. There are 39 qualities are mentioned, which we will start speaking from next session. We have to do the tyaga of those vices and convert those vices into divine qualities, where example, adveshta sarva bhutanam, starting from there. So ultimately the tyaga brings us the ultimate peace, eternal peace, which is our peace, that supreme peace, which nobody can steal us, because we have developed all these, strengthened our conscious level, uplifted our conscious level through tyaga. And that we reach to that supreme peace, which is the ultimate peace. So renunciation is the ultimate path to supreme peace, Sat Chit Ananda. By doing that, we attain the purpose of life, which is the liberation. Liberation from what? From birth and death, rebirth and death. Right here it shows there. So birth, when we are born, we are going to live the life, and then we are going to die. There is no other way around to it. Whoever is born will die. But what kind of death? The regular death, thinking about the worldly things, and then going back and forth with the rebirth, or we just do with the path of tyaga and get to the moksha. Because Gautam Buddha said, no matter how hard the past, you can always begin again. Because many times we feel that most of our time is gone. We have limited time now. Do we still reach our ultimate purpose of life? And Gautam Buddha or even Lord Krishna assures us that the sinnest of sinners can achieve. Once you make that commitment, Lord is going to help us. वो कहते हैं ना, जब हम एक कदम चलते हैं तो 100 कदम जो है भगवान जी अपने आप लेके जाते हैं. When we walk, take one step, another 100 steps will be help us by God to move to the same direction. Our purpose is only one. Here it says, being in peace and anandam, and making this world a peaceful place and harmonious place to live for all, today, tomorrow, and forever, is my dharma, duty, and the purpose of my life. So the message here is my every action must lead to peace and harmony. So choice is ours, how we behave, what we do. The whole Bhagavad Gita takes us step by step, and that's what Krishna Bhagwan Ji guided Arjuna. And we are sitting here as a Arjuna again, learning the same thing. So now, how to practice this Tyaga? Easy said than done, right? But until now, we have learned one thing, that even now, even in this chapter again, practice with love and compassion. And now the new ingredient has been added, Tyaga. So in other words, we have to reprogram the software of our mind, and attain liberation. In other words, we have to change our lifestyle. And that's where Satya Sai Baba guides us. And he says, start your day with love and peace. Spend your day with love and peace. And every day, end your day with love and peace. But how to do that? Here is a calendar, which again, 30 days calendar. And this gives the morning to evening practices to change our lifestyle, change our habits. And the very first thing, as we learn in chapter 7, Vasudev Sarvamiti, everything is God. There's nothing we have. I'm breathing because of the Atma which is flowing in me, the divinity, the supreme energy, that power is flowing within me. Without that, I'm a dead body. So everything, my hands are moving, my mouth is, I'm speaking, I'm looking at all of you. It's all because that power, that energy I have. So everything is God. Now we have to start our day acknowledging that, and then reminding ourselves with some mantras like Om mantra, or reading some verses of Bhagavad Gita, or just, Jai Shri Krishna, whatever resonates with you. But live in the consciousness. Always think about, whether with the Om mantra or with his Sakar Roop, whatever we do, we always think about him. And then he says, 100% live in my consciousness. Now, how can we do that? We must have a physical body, healthy physical body, which we should practice every day with yoga exercises, with pranayam, to energize our bodies, every cell of our body with this pure energy, and then meditate, contemplate. And during the day, I put it here, be the peace. How can we be the peace? Here is the practice. Whatever we think, we should think peacefully. Even somebody might have said something to us, behaved with us, which we did not like it, and our thoughts kind of going into negative direction. No, just there are verses which we can practice. Sarvasya chaham hirday sanya vishto. I live in everybody's heart. So bless everybody, direct everybody. So we can recite certain phrases from Bhagavad Gita, or just simply do pranam to that by heart. Just do pranam to that person. But always think positively, not to worry about it, because as it says, we think about the things, 98% things don't happen. And even the 2% happen, it happened. And God is with us if we think about God. So things will taken care of it. And everything is temporary. And that will pass too. So we should continue to contemplate on supreme power. Then we can start thinking positive. And we should not participate in the gossips. We should always think about peace. We should not judge other people, find the faults in other people, even though we all have different idiosyncrasies. God has not wasted their time to create anybody. We all have our habits, idiosyncrasies based on our previous karmas, based on our behavior, our lifestyle. So we should pray to God to bring everybody toward divinity. And definitely we should not abuse anybody with our voice, with our speech. Anudvekaram vakyam satyam parhitam cha. We should not say anything to anybody which raises other person's blood pressure or upsets the other person. That's why I say, Swadhyaya Abhyasnam, we should focus on ourselves. Vanmai tapuchyate. This is the Vanika tap. Here we are talking about Tyaga. Tyaga does not happen without tap. So removing our speeches or sometimes we say things wrongly and then we regret. For that, we should always speak sweetly. Vani aisi boliye, sabka man jeet lecho. Sabka apa khoye. Apan ko bhi shanti milti hai aur dusron ko bhi milti hai. And every action we should do it where we should feel peaceful, not stressed. So by doing that, it becomes the selfless service, seva, everything we do with the bhava of seva, with the tyaga, with love and devotion, with shraddha. And then meditate on the divinity, or we should contemplate and meditate on all these of our actions with ingredients of our karma yoga, bhakti yoga. Then we experience healthy body, healthy, wealthy, and peaceful life. And attach union with God, self-realization, God realization, knowing our true self that I am Satchit Ananda. And then we go beyond birth and death by surrendering. So that's where Lord Krishna says, during the day you should do all these activities, but at the end, you should sit down and contemplate and say how you can improve upon it, and then pray, do the meditation, and then finally, before going to bed, surrender to me. Sarv dharman paritajye mamekam sharanam braj. Aham tvam sarpapebhyo moksha shami ma shuchi. Bhagwan ji says, just let everything go, all the worries go, everything. You just focus on your action and tyaga, and then I will take care. So this is a time for homework. We should just practice Swadhyaya Abhyasnam, focus on ourselves, live in awareness. And whatever we do, offer everything to God. So the question always I've asked that to remind ourselves, do I have a supreme goal of self-realization, God realization? Do I live every moment 100% in God's consciousness? That requires continuous practice. Do I have full shraddha, full faith? Do I live in mindfulness of love and compassion? Do I meditate? Do I do seva, every action with the seva bhav and offer everything? Do I let go everything? These are the self-inquiry questions we should continue to ask and continue to do the self-improvement. And finally, we all will realize who we are, because self-inquiry is not a weakness, it's a strength. And that strength takes us who I am. I am Sat Chit Anand. So with our sankalpa here, I renunciate. That's the sankalpa we have for today. I am in peace, not in pieces. This is what my sankalpa is. And how am I going to achieve it? I renunciate. I do tyaga. So through this ultimate peace, which is another name of unity and ultimately divinity, that's where we get the happy, healthy, and peaceful life. But sankalpa, 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 because it says this peace comes step by step. It's not a quick fix. So we must have a patience, because sankalpa bhavan, with bhava of sankalpa, but the sankalpa must be for our self-realization, not just the worldly desires. Kamas tattva. These kamnaon ka tyag. That's where it says desires tyag. Then little by little, here it shows the little by little, what it means by little by little. Here we sow the seed, sprouts the plant. From plant, the flowers and the fruits, and then we can share with others. So by putting divinity through Bhagavad Gita within our heart, in our mind, in our buddhi, little by little, our buddhi transforms and merges with the supreme power, which is the ultimate peace. So continue to have a patience and practice, 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 practice. So thank you very much for joining the session. Tyaga, the best path to ultimate peace, that takes us and gives us the freedom from pains and miseries, and help us to live happily, healthy life, peaceful life. So thank you.